You can tell just by taking a quick peek at me that I am a highly trained, lethal combat machine. Millions of years of fine-tuned evolution has led to the apotheosis of fighting. Me. If we walked by each other on the street, you'd look over your shoulder out of fear, praying that I don't decide to beat your ass. And if you're lucky, I won't. And it's all thanks to my extensive knowledge of martial arts. More specifically, the most intense discipline, bullshido. This is probably my biggest guilty pleasure content online. I love fake martial arts. Online, it's referred to as bullshido. There's an entire subreddit dedicated to it, a Twitter account. I think it's also blowing up on TikTok as well. It's a scam that's been around for at least 50 years where some goober will open up a dojo and, call it a self-defense course, and it's just absolute outrageous fucking nonsense, and they pass it off as martial arts. The most notable example of this is actually Steven Seagal. I'm sure all of you are familiar with him. He is an iconic, timeless specimen of bullshido. If you watch any of his demonstrations of his expertise in martial arts, you'll have someone grab his arm and then Steven Seagal will do this and the guy fucking flips around like he just got hit by a car going 60 miles per hour. Like he just ragdolls people by looking at them. Force blasts. He'll take their finger and he'll tickle it a little bit and the person has a heart attack, right? And it's all for show. Obviously, none of it's real. The people that are having the maneuvers performed on them just sell it, and it's supposed to get some students to sign up to the course under this ridiculous belief that it's real. But the video footage that exists from these courses is unbelievably entertaining. Some of the best footage online, period. This old-timer's looking extremely powerful. He could probably beat up a tech support scammer through the telephone. He gets a phone call from the scammer's like, hey, you got a virus on your computer, pay us and we'll fix it. And he just says, you're already dead. Hangs up and then the guy fucking explodes. Because it turns out this guy did 15 karate blasts at the phone and it killed the guy. He is not to be messed with. Every part of his body is a weapon. He can fatality your ass from any position. So, in one of those, the guy just comes up behind him and, taps him on the shoulder, and then he fucking flies off the screen. God forbid one of his grandchildren come up to try and get his attention, poke him on the back. That just straight up snapped their neck, it seems. If he doesn't want to be moved, there's not a force in this universe that can make him move. Not even God. It's like pulling the sword from the stone here. The guy trying to lift him even tries biting on his ear a little bit to no avail. He won't budge. And then eventually, he sends him flying thanks to his overwhelming spiritual pressure. This old-timer's got such powerful aura, he could probably kill people just by entering the same room as them. Just when you thought it was safe to ask Grandpa to pull your finger, he's got a move for that too. And he's lucky he didn't perform the full fatality. This one's one of my favorites. This is an older video. I've seen it at least 20 times. Every time this gets posted somewhere, I can't help but watch the entire thing. So obviously I've been doing a bit of a deep dive through bullshido subreddit because it's got not only the classic bangers, but also some new ones. So it's just a nice array of things that I'd like to showcase today from the subreddit. I legitimately love this technique, the fucking forbidden turbo slap jutsu here. I've tried it myself every time I watch this, and it's legitimately painful on the entirety of my arm. It's kind of impressive how quickly they're able to throw the slaps out, and if you watch them do it, they're hitting themselves more often than they're even throwing something out. So they keep slapping themselves in the face and on the chest, but they make such a good sound. And it's really cool to just watch the fucking phalanges fly around like this. I don't know, it's very satisfying, especially when he's running around doing it.
Нет, нет, давай. Приблизь камеру.
Obviously, you're not winning any fights against a human being with this technique, but it is extraordinarily deadly if you're being chased around by a couple of pages out of a textbook. So if you've got to slap some paper that's bugging you, you might want to try some of these maneuvers that they're teaching you here.
You'll see me cutting the arms, Ukanagashi here, Tenkan there, Tigatana here, Tigatana here, Tigatana, Ukanagashi here. Always moving, always cutting them out of the way. Keep going. Here.
This class, I believe, is just being taught in his living room. They just push the couch back and then bring the students in. So he's teaching this very elegant, majestic maneuver about how to fight multiple opponents, and you clearly can't argue with the results here. Highly effective against a group of opponents that also happen to lack object permanence, so when you brush them off, they lose all their steam, and they have to like relocate you and try and remember where they are. It may not work very well against people grounded in reality and are actually trying to hurt you in a fight, but who knows, maybe it's worth giving a try. Just give them one of these, tap them on the back, and I don't know, maybe run away. Like, maybe that could be more effective than trying to just keep, like, doing some of this. Though I do really like the clothesline at the end. I don't know why he decided to clothesline them. That seems like it wasn't even part of the lesson. He was just improvising there and thought it'd be a nice cherry on top of the cake. But I appreciate it. This one had DMCA music, so I'll just talk you through it. This is the Finger Master. He's an expert of all things related to finger-based combat. I mean, and just look at him. He's built like a killer. He looks like Executioner Smog from Dark Souls. So you can't even get near him, really. He's super slippery, super powerful. Just an all-around elite warrior. You can see his guard is never down, and no matter what you do, you're not penetrating his defenses here. Like, and look at it, again. Look at the power he's able to exert through just a single finger. And then he gives him the old, the washing machine twist, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Charlie, I'll just wait to strike him when he's sitting down. That way I have the advantage and he has no way of fighting back. You absolute imbecile. You think an elite warrior like that wouldn't also be able to beat your ass 1,000 ways to Sunday while also in the seated position? You absolute fool. Some say he's even more powerful while sitting down. You can see that his opponent's really out for blood, trying to hurt him, but just can't. Every time he makes contact with the human body, he sends excruciating pain into his victim, causing the entire body to shut down. I believe he calls it the cheese touch technique. He just is able to do anything he wants. Look at this, wrapping him up like a fucking pretzel. Hurting people is as easy as breathing for him. Just look at how much fun he's having. Even while sitting down, there is just no one that can match his expertise in martial arts. I really do love bullshido. Fake martial arts is really goofy to watch, but it is sad to think that there are people that pay for these classes thinking that it works, and God forbid they ever get into a real fight and try and use these techniques. They're going to get themselves hurt significantly worse than if they had just tried to, like, run away or something. You'd probably get further if you just did this with your arms and just start flailing around wildly than trying to use any of these techniques, like trying to push a pressure point that causes your opponent to shit their pants or something. So it is sad to think about the people that get scammed into believing this and paying for it, but man, is it fun to watch. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya.